that.
Do you care that he's unvaccinated?
Oh, well, never mind. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
He's immunized.
Yes.
He has like
inoculated.
Yeah.
he has the original like from the breeder or whatever. He has a couple vaccines from that.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I've never taken him to the vet. I'll take him to the vet whenever he's about a year old. When I start getting him.
By the time he knocks somebody out, knocks some dog up.
I don't care if he knocks a dog up.
That's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. Prove that it was my dog, you know? Get a DNA test.
It comes out looking just like Whiskey.
My dog is not paying child support, Damon. He's only going to pay rent.
I'll take all the dogs, and then I'll let them out in the woods.
Nah, sell them. You got puppies. Sell them things, man.
I really wouldn't. It wouldn't matter. Yeah. But,
all right. It's your forecast.
What's the forecast?
I don't know. That's what you guys are here for.
Oh, okay.
We can start with the news, though.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with the Brandon Ayuk saga because, that's just what's going on every day now.
Not the forecast. We're just Brandon Ayuk's podcast.
Pretty much.
That's basically the gossip column now, right?
Yeah, literally. We have to start with the hard-hitting stuff like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
So apparently, he shot down agreed to trades, like for sure with the Browns. We knew that trade. That was the Amari Cooper and like a second or something on top for Ayuk. He said no to that, and then it leaked that, the Patriots were out all of a sudden on him. So he either, in my opinion, said no or said, I'm not re-signing. Like, I'm not going to extend my contract with you.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to be traded.
No.
Like, he just wants to be paid. He wants the best of both worlds. He wants to be the highest paid receiver, and he wants to play on the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was just him trying to get the 49ers to pay more money. And he just went through all this.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But, it's still not stopping. He commented on something the other day addressing, like, somebody in the front office and was like, stop leaking these reports. You have two options. You know what they are. And, in my opinion, that's trade me or pay me. But there's not two options because they've tried to trade.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I think if he sits out or whatever, does something for a year, and I think some team's going to pay him. I think some of these big name teams, like I'm sure he would love to be on like the Chiefs or like something cool like that. But like they'll pay him during free agency. They're just not going to give up draft capital and stuff. So
he's going to have to wait.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to play out his contract with the Niners until they're done tagging him.
Yeah. Honestly, though, he should have taken the Browns, dude. I feel like that's a good situation if you're getting rid of Amari Cooper. I was thinking if they add him and still have Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and Jerry Jeudy, I'm thinking he might have too many mouths to feed there. But
yeah, he would step in straight as the alpha, dominant target hog there. But
that was definitely a win-win for everybody, I thought.
Yeah,
I thought so. I thought it worked out well for everybody, but he doesn't want the AFC North smoke.
There could be like a new strategy that where some of these elite players that are on the last year of their deal like might be doing this stuff to just shake up teams. I don't know.
Who knows?
Kind of next level advance. Like
it sure doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
like it doesn't come through to me.
So can we make a deal though? Next time we hear about Brandon Ayuk, let's let it just whenever something happens.
Okay, I agree.
Because I can't tell Reddit or Twitter not to do any of this stuff.
Right.
But
we control what we talk about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
That's fine. We'll fill in with the new CeeDee Lamb news eventually when his contract stuff starts going crazy.
Well, we got some injuries, right?
Oh, so many injuries. Yeah. We can start with one of the bigger name players. We'll go with Hollywood Brown. He dislocated a joint in his shoulder on the very first play of their first preseason game. It's the exact same injury that Tyreek Hill had a few years back when he was there. He missed about 4 weeks. So the timetable is set at 4 to 6 weeks. He might miss a game or two. Okay. It at least opens the window for Xavier Worthy to put his foot in the door a little more right out the gates.
Yeah, if he misses a couple games, you can get that connection with Patty.
Yep. Your guy Rondale Moore, done for the season, man. Season-ending knee injury. Sucks for him, but there's enough talent in Atlanta. I don't think it's really going to affect the large scheme of things.
Even wider for Darnell Mooney.
Yep, there you go.
That's
your real guy.
Yeah,
Darnell's your real guy. Marshawn Lloyd had a hamstring injury in their first preseason game against the Browns. Yes, Packers running back. They drafted him in the 3rd round this year. AJ Dillon's inevitable. He's just gonna. Hey, I'm the backup. Sorry, that's kind of what I do. That's what I do around here. Look at how big my legs are. Malik Neighbors left practice yesterday with an ankle injury. Apparently, he went down and immediately took his shoe off. Didn't go into the training room or anything. Stayed out there. There was only like another hour left to practice or something. But he's on the sideline working out with the band and stuff. They called it an ankle sprain. That's all we know of now. So we'll see, what grade it comes out as, or if he's going to really miss any time. But
I hope they don't say Liz Frank.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear
Liz Frank.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Plantar fasciitis. I don't want to hear those. And nothing like that. I'd rather it be ankle than calf.
What's Liz Frank?
It's something to do with the foot.
Like gout. Yeah, really. Malik Neighbors like doesn't have gout. That would suck.
It's fake. Right?
He has trench foot.
Well, I guess
another ankle injury. Josh Downs, probably about 5 days ago at this point. He went down with a high ankle sprain. So that's we'll see what grade that comes out as well. That could be anywhere from 3 weeks to it could be 3 months. He's still dealing with some stiffness. So
yeah.
That could really shake up the Indianapolis wide receiver 2 race.
He's got a lot of different receivers there, so
yeah, definitely a jumble after Pittman right now. That's pretty much it as far as like high enough profile guys that I thought were valid enough to talk about.
So we can keep talking about preseason, right?
Yeah, we can hop right in.
Who did you like?
We finally got football.
Oh man, and let me tell you, it was overwhelming how much football was hitting me at once.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it was like, oh my gosh, are the starters playing in this game? Are they playing in this game? Like, turn on a game 2 minutes too late, you already missed all the starters.
Yeah.
It's like, dang it.
Yeah. The Eagles said that they were going to play their starters. They didn't play them at all.
Yep.
I was really upset.
No,
I was like, I'm only going to watch this first drive.
It's going to be interesting to see which teams play their starters because a lot of teams are doing a lot of different things.
Yeah, ever since they took that extra preseason game away,
it's
like, next week that we're about to go into here in a few days where games start, that's the new tune-up game, and then you give them the week off week 3. But, different teams do it differently right now.
It all used to be the same, too. They, played the first quarter, second quarter, whatever.
Yeah, it was very routine the way it was before. But, I don't know. I like that it's shaking things up a little bit. It definitely shows coaching strategies more and what coaches prefer to do with their players and when to rest them.
I think the rookies should definitely be playing, though. I agree at all with Caleb Williams sitting the first game, but you got to give him some time in there.
Just something, man.
I agree. Like, Marvin Harrison, he didn't play. Like, I don't care if Kyler's not playing. He's Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I know what Kyler Murray is.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see him and his receivers get some more reps together.
Yeah.
But, in my opinion, put him on the field. Like, you got to see him against real competition.
And that's the thing. Is, like, why would you not play Caleb Williams against another first-string offense? Because then he's actually seeing real NFL games. And that's where I kind of get confused with a lot of these guys. It's like you want to say, oh, this guy played really well in the preseason. Stats lie to you in the preseason.
Yeah,
so, like, when you're looking at when I'm looking at people in preseason, I'm just looking at how hard they want to play. And like who I really liked was Tank Dell. And I think a lot of people were scared with Stephon Diggs coming in and I don't know, Joe Mixon maybe coming in. I think with him scoring that touchdown and like really looking like a solid option for the Texans still, like I think it just boosts because Stephon Diggs still on the field, Nico Collins on the field. Like he just looked like he wanted to play out there. So like that's my guy that I want to go with. I know it's not really like news because it's like Tank Dell. We all knew he was already good, but it just really reaffirms that he's gonna continue to do well and like really just want to play.
He wants to play football even when it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
seriously, right?
Yeah.
And the Tank Dell touchdown you're referencing, he was in the slot, right? On that. So that honestly surprised me because Tank Dell, he's smaller, but he succeeded at such a high level on the outside that I thought for sure, with Diggs' speed kind of diminishing and his ability to beat people downfield, he would just be the possession receiver.
Right.
But, I think they're going to line up Tank Dell wherever they need to get him to get advantageous spots for him. Because, you line that guy up in the slot and he has space off the line.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And I think we were talking about it, how it's like C.J. Stroud I think he's really coming into just liking Tank Dell as his guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, they came in together. It makes sense. But, I think that
he specifically requested them to draft him. And I remember, this was probably 2 months ago, but they were in the offseason and Stroud and Parsons were on like NFL Network or something, drafting like a fantasy team, and they were like, all right, like Parsons drafted his defense and his set. And then the first thing he said was, I got Tank Dell in the slot.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first player he took. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, he already had Nico. Stephon Diggs is on the team at that point.
Mhm.
First person he could even think of was, Tank Dell's in my slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I mean, yeah, he's going to eat. Like, he's going to eat this year, I think.
Bo
Yeah, I
Nix
guess that's
does not.
Bo Nix. Okay.
He doesn't. I'll let you finish. Do you
No.
have something for me to say?
I never have anything important to say. And it seems like you're not going to have anything important to say by saying Bo Nix, but go on.
That was the guy that I watched. That's the first guy I'm going with.
Yeah.
Did you watch him?
No, I didn't. I've seen him in the training camp. I thought he was doing pretty well in that, right?
He looked pretty crisp on the field, honestly.
It was okay. The balls were a little wobbly.
Yeah.
I felt like he was hanging on to the ball too long.
Yeah.
But the only thing with that is he's throwing it to Marvin Mims, and
Right.
I don't know who else was on the field, but Mims was the guy who caught his touchdown. But I thought he looked okay. He was moving around in the pocket pretty good.
Yeah.
He's definitely not Lamar Jackson with his
No.
wheels, but he was able to pick up a couple first downs. But I'm just excited. I'm anxious to see how he develops.
Yeah.
It wasn't good or bad. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I've warmed up on him. I mean, I was like pre-draft process so far out on Bo Nix as a prospect. I just wasn't interested in his profile at all. But obviously, it's that time of year where the camp reports come out, and obviously they're not going to be crapping on the quarterback they just drafted.
Yeah.
But all the reports are great. It seems like Sean Payton loves him. And one thing about Sean Payton is he has his guys.
Oh,
Yeah, he does.
Like,
He's
as much as I think that Jared Stidham is going to be the week one starter, and I've been on our podcast talking about it, I mean, Sean Payton's going to play his guy at some point. It's just what he does.
Who did start? Was it Jared Stidham?
Stidham was the starter.
I was going to say, I've seen Nix was playing in the third quarter, so he didn't even start. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he didn't get I don't think Stidham got a whole lot of action. 2 drives maybe or something. I didn't actually get to catch the game. I just kind of saw that stuff.
Dude, Nix's first pass was a bad one. It was almost intercepted.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I don't know if it was on the receiver or not, because I wasn't watching the coach's film. I was just watching the broadcast. But he settled down after that. I think he did okay. I'll just say that.
He's a rookie. He's not high on expectations. So.
Well, I am going to keep it with quarterbacks for my first player that I like. As much as I want to go with Jaden Daniels, I don't think he really did enough in one drive for me to have any takeaway. Threw one nice deep ball, scored a rushing touchdown, whatever. That's what we knew he could do.
Yeah.
So nothing new. But the guy I'm actually going to go with is Michael Penix, who didn't. It's not surprising, but I guess it was a little surprising to the level that he looked so comfortable to me. Like, it looked like the exact same player I watched at Washington. He didn't panic. He moved in the pocket so well, and he just went through his progressions and took what the defense gave him. And, I mean, he did it over and over again. He had a few errant throws, but to me, I mean, the one big knock I had on him in college was Washington's O-line was so dominant. Like, he had all day.
Yeah.
Well, the Falcons' O-line is so dominant. Like, they have been great advantage in the trenches, in my opinion, on offense.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to take his first couple years in the NFL, where he's going to be behind that line for all of his reps, like he's going to have every opportunity to really get polished by the time he steps on the field. I think he's going to be a really good player.
I think a lot of people underestimate the power of a good O-line.
Yeah.
Like Nick Foles, I know he just retired, but the O-line was so good. Like, he just needed to find that spot and do his job, and they can all do it if they have no pressure on them. That's the hardest part about being a quarterback. So.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you're Tom Brady, you might not need to have a great line, or like Peyton Manning, getting rid of the ball real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's the big thing with Penix for me when I watched him in Washington.
Yeah.
And he just was taking too long to me.
Oh, yeah. He loves his deep shots, for sure.
But if he never panicked, though. Like, it just takes him a little long to process stuff. So if he does having a good offensive line is going to make a bigger difference for him than maybe somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, even if he doesn't start for 2 years, I think just for his development, that kind of stuff is going to help him a lot because, I mean, he's not going to have a dominant O-line his entire career. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Not many guys get that. But
at least while he's learning, he won't start seeing ghosts.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's what can happen. I mean, in my opinion, Sam Darnold's arm talent is elite. I see him he made throws in the Vikings game where I was like, whoa, like I forgot Sam Darnold could do that for a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that kind of stuff can make a huge difference.
I love that I can like you have full transparency when you're trying to make a transition. I just wanted to say that. I saw where you're going with that. You wanted to transition to Sam Darnold and then transition to something else.
Maybe J.J. McCarthy.
His backup.
I thought J.J. McCarthy was awesome.
Yeah.
Just
He
ball
looked good.
placement was
Yeah.
great. He moved around in the pocket. He was just so calm and cool, and I'm just bummed that I didn't get him.
Mm.
That's the end. I mean, did you guys watch it?
No,
I watched it.
I watched. Yeah, I watched. I didn't actually know. I only got to see the Sam Darnold drives and
Gotcha.
stuff. So. But
Yeah, I thought. I mean, we talked about it a little bit before, but his ball placement, he was hitting guys in stride, and I like to see him taking those deep shots because everybody was so suspect of the arm coming out of college, and I mean, he came right out, in my opinion, at least put like all my doubts to rest about him not having like the arm power to succeed at the NFL level. But I mean, he's taking guys in stride, 50 yards downfield, 60 yards downfield.
yeah,
To me, I wouldn't say necessarily that means he's got an NFL arm as far as Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
But at least it shows that he's not Patrick or Chad Pennington or whatever.
Right.
To be
Yeah.
honest. Like, they're at least going to have to respect that deep shot a little bit.
yeah.
So they.
I think that's all you
crowd
need.
him.
I mean, if you're good enough, I mean, look at Brock Purdy. If he's like Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy doesn't kill people over the top, but he can. Like, you have to respect it.
Yeah, once you let up, that's the answer.
Yep.
Well, since we're already on the Vikings, another guy that I like, I'm not going to go too far into him because, like I said, it's still preseason, so you still don't really know. But Jalen Naylor looks like he's going to be at least the number 3 guy with JJ or Justin Jefferson didn't play. So, like I said, it's kind of tough to say. But the dude was getting open. Dude's playing well. Like Sam Darnold's hitting him, and he's playing like he wants to play. So
Yeah, he filled in really well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the situation's going to be with Jordan Addison.
That
It's
too.
just like Rashid Rice, we'll hear something when we do.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be because that's how the NFL is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Naylor. I mean, I think he could be more than just a roster clogger potentially
Yeah.
at some point.
Was
I
he,
think,
what was he drafted? 5th round?
I think it was last year.
yeah, so he was a rookie last year, I think, maybe 2 years ago even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I honestly don't remember.
It was late-ish.
What
Yeah.
these guys need, first thing they need is an opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, if an
That's
opportunity
kinda
presents
legit.
itself, I mean, opportunity is like king in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Look at Monroe, like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if he gets drafted to, the Eagles right now,
Yeah.
when's he ever getting on the
Right.
field?
Yeah.
Like, how's that?
2022 6th round.
Gotcha.
Naylor, I barely know her.
Okay, here we go.
Well, we've been talking a lot about guys we like. I'll hit on a guy that I do not necessarily don't like, but it did scare me a little bit. So Christian Kirk, who I think most people would agree is the number 1 option for the Jaguars, did not play a single snap with the starters, not in the slot. It was Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis in 2 receiver sets for all of them at the starters. And I would have assumed at least, you go down to 2 receiver sets, Christian Kirk is still on the field.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas or Gabe Davis comes off.
Mhm.
And then they come on in 3 receiver sets, and then Kirk moves to the slot because he is a dominant slot receiver. It's where he's best. So, I don't know. I mean, it put a little more question marks in the room where, at this point, Evan Ingram's the only guy I think is a safe bet to score you consistent fantasy points this season.
In ETN.
Yeah. I mean, if they get up and they're just running the ball, and he's just not going to be on the field. Even if it's, play action or something, it's just less likely he's on the field if they go down to 2 receiver sets and try to pound the rock more. So
Yeah, on the other hand, though, you got Doug Peterson who likes his RPOs.
just like that.
So if somebody's getting the ball in an RPO and it's a wide receiver, it's probably Kirk.
He needs to find a new QB.
It'll be Kirk and Ingram all those.
Yeah, maybe, but
So, hold on. Just so that I understand. You're concerned that he wasn't in the slot
he
because
wasn't
he was
on the
playing
field.
outside.
No,
No, he
He
didn't
wasn't
play
on the field.
outside at all. He only played in the slot.
Yeah.
So when they didn't have a slot receiver and they went down to 2 tight end sets and just had 2 outside receivers, it was Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis. And I mean, Gabe Davis has flashed before, but I mean, I think Christian Kirk is a better NFL player than Gabe Davis. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
Yeah.
And Brian Thomas is a rookie. I mean, we don't even know what he is right now
Yeah.
at this point.
he did have that good catch, though.
He did have a nice catch. It was a very nice catch. He got targeted on back-to-back plays. Snuck that one in.
Since we're talking about guys that, I think we kind of we can go back to the guys that we like, but
Yeah, that's all
stay
right.
ways. I had a couple guys that I noticed. I didn't watch all the games, but there was some guys that I noticed that I was like, I'm gonna probably stay away from these guys, and that's I think this is everybody can agree with that. Stenson Bennett, we can just drop him.
You don't need to roster that guy.
Yeah,
period.
Don't watch the last minute of the game, but anytime else he was in the game, get rid of him. Dude had 5 or 6 picks, and he didn't
4 or 5, I think.
He played 4 interceptions.
Yeah,
it was a rough game, but he threw a touchdown as time expired to win the game, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's got heart.
He's a fighter.
I watched a little bit of the Steelers game, and I think Quez Watkins, I don't think he's going to be on the field a lot. I know he had a muff punt. I know for the Eagles he played a little bit of punt return. I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to like that. I'm going to stay away from him. And then I know a lot of people are looking for that third receiver in Philly. If you are looking for him, I would say don't really look for him because they're not.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't get used.
Yeah, it doesn't get used, and it's not going to be the same person every time. Yeah. I've been hearing reports of Britton Covey. Don't sleep on him. You can sleep on him. I don't think he's.
Jalen Hurts does not make it to his third read very often.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Poor Goddard.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Goddard's going to be, prioritized in the offense over whoever that third receiver is going to be. Barkley's going to be prioritized. I would even imagine probably Kenneth Gainwell will be prioritized as a target over, Johnny Wilson or Britton Covey, whoever gets in there.
Right.
Johnny Wilson's been getting a lot of good reports out of camp.
Yeah.
So, if anything, you're just hoping for
and he was
an injury to get.
Was he drafted after Anais Smith or whatever?
I think he was around before. I want to say they were 5, 6.
Because Anais Smith didn't really look good to me either. He fumbled. He had a punt return.
Yeah, I didn't get to see his touches.
But a couple guys that I really like as flyers, guys that could just you could pick them up off free agency a lot of times. I would say Parker Washington. He just looks like he wants to play. That punt return he had, he looks explosive.
Oh, yeah, that return for the Jaguars, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I mean, they liked him last year, so I don't see why not, just roster him. But Tylan Wallace, he had a really nice catch I don't remember what it was, but he also won that game for the Rams last year, I believe.
Yeah.
So the guy's seeing the field and he's making plays. It just seems like a good flyer for me. Especially in a room of wide receivers that just doesn't really look that good.
Right.
And another guy, since I'm a Philly fan, Will Shipley. Dude just looks like he wants to play. It's that Tank Dell kind of thing where it's he might not be explosive in any type of way, but he looks like he wants to play.
Dude, you would have loved Rudy, man. Rudy would have been on your team if you coached football.
Yeah, he would have.
That's great. Whatever. I'm glad you guys had so many guys you liked because for me it was just mostly guys I didn't like.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you didn't like Benson.
Yeah, Trey Benson, man. It's just I loved him as a prospect. I had him and Brooks pretty close. Honestly, it was a toss-up in my opinion on who should be the first running back drafted. But Trey Benson, all the reports out of camp have been negative. There's rumors of DeMercado potentially being the actual backup to James Conner. And then he just didn't look like he had the right kind of vision for the NFL level, in my opinion. That's overly patient, not hitting the holes that were available to him. It honestly just made me want James Conner even more. I'm more confident in that role lasting longer than 4 or 5 weeks, and Benson being the explosive rookie that takes over, kind of like Kenneth Walker did a couple of years back.
Yeah.
I'm more confident Conner will finish out the year if he's healthy.
Trey Benson, the only thing I liked about him was how angry he runs. Reminds me of, you guys remember Marion Barber?
Oh, yeah. Marion Barber?
That's the guy he reminded me of when I was watching him at Florida State. But the other stuff, it's hard to get a grasp of it when you're watching college film. But I was sort of not as much as hating him as you are.
Yeah.
And the Reddit comments were terrible. They didn't like him.
Reddit tore him apart.
So
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I don't think he's dead in the water. But it might just take him a little time to learn the running back position more so than in college where you can just out-athlete everybody else on the field.
It sounds like, I didn't really watch him, but it sounds almost like Javonte Williams. Whereas I love watching him run, but he can't see. Runs with
I think a lot of it is they run so upright, too, that they're already not putting their best foot forward. They're not having that acceleration as soon as they have the ball because they're being overly patient waiting for a hole.
Yeah.
Cam, who's the guy that Cam? You got him on your team.
Akers.
Cam Akers. He was also kind of like that a little bit. He went to the
Yeah.
same school as Florida State,
Yep.
and it was like he averaged like 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
At Florida.
At Florida State.
Yeah.
Cam Akers, and then, like you said, maybe athlete, not football player.
Yep. I mean, yeah, the polar opposite comparison, in my opinion, would be like Kyron Williams,
Yes.
who is football player, not an athlete. Like, he ran a
Right.
4.7 40, and he's one of the best running backs in fantasy last year.
He ran a 4.7. Oh, wow.
Zach Moss.
That's
He ran
Yeah,
a
exactly.
4.7.
Zach Moss is slow,
That's
but
wild.
they're just good at football.
Yeah.
If you're on the right offense and you're good at football, that's all it takes.
Yeah. Well, like Le'Veon. I mean, Le'Veon was an athlete.
Yeah.
But like that dude, he knew football too. So I mean, that's just 1-2 punch.
He wasn't very fast either. Although he had some.
He was
4.6,
athletic.
I
Though.
think.
Like I felt like he was. He could.
He was, but he
He was
definitely.
fast, but like quick.
Yeah, the combine metrics that do like the agility. He
Yeah,
was
like 3-cone stuff like
yeah,
that.
he was off the charts on that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Did you have anybody else?
That's all I have.
I will say I feel like I'm still in off-season mode where I'm not really ready for preseason yet to like really grind out to watch some of the games. But
It did hit me out of nowhere. Like, it feel like football just came out and said, "Hey, we're here,"
yeah,
which is great. I'm pumped. But
Well, all the Friday games, they're all in different times. It's like, dude, give me Sunday, man. I'm ready to just grind out Sunday. Not do nothing but sit on the couch, watch TV.
I agree.
Well, I'll just bring over some beer.
I feel like
Beer fridge is always
I feel like it'd be a mistake for us to not say anything about Caleb Williams. I don't know if you guys watched him. It felt like I was watching Pat Mahomes, like legitimately.
Did he
right?
play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in their second
I'm
week
gonna
now.
watch it.
But
Okay.
yeah, definitely I recommend watching it. He had a no-look screen pass, like in pressure for his first completion, like a 40-yard screen to Swift. He hit Kmet on like a 35-yard ball, like full rollout on the run, sidearm around the defender,
Yeah.
perfect placement. Couple nice
yeah.
scrambles, like it was some home cooking.
That's
he
tough.
was
Yeah,
going
that's
to
tough,
work.
'cause
and it was
I hate to be like,
whoa.
oh, he's the next Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that is cool to see that he's
Yeah,
doing
and I
some
mean
stuff.
it really was like that kind of level where like it wasn't just, oh, I thought JJ McCarthy looked really good, or I thought Michael Penix looks like he's going to be a sharp pro. It was like, oh, like the league might be screwed. Like if he works out the way it's looking right now.
Yeah.
I would have definitely, if I had known that he played, I would have taken that low-hanging fruit. But I respect that you didn't.
No, I didn't want to take the easy stuff, you know? I didn't want to hit on the first or second overall picks.
Well, maybe we're all going to be eating crow here in about
Oh, absolutely.
a couple weeks.
I plan on
3
it.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could see. I think next week will be a big tell. I think we're more likely to see starting offenses for like a quarter or maybe even a half for, maybe like Washington. I could see playing more than a quarter because it's, a bunch of rookies, a bunch of new players. But like the Eagles will probably play, 3 drives.
Yeah.
And the offense will say, we're good.
Yeah, I hate that. I think so. I don't know much baseball, but Shohei Ohtani always used to get injured until they said we're just gonna run the fuck out of him and we're gonna play him, and then he never got injured. I'm kind of a guy where I'm like I kind of want to see that.
Well, unfortunately for Shohei, he
Well, he got
did need Tommy John at the end of last year. My Dodgers are still waiting on him to come back.
Yeah.
We're talking about baseball now?
We are.
This is your forecast.
Hey! I'm in third place in a big money league in
Whenever I
my
say-
fantasy baseball.
Whenever I say this is your forecast, we switch to baseball. Even though I don't know baseball at all.
Dude, it is so much